Hey y'all, today I got a video for you on 4.1 and 4.2 about quadratic functions and how to graph them. Just make sure you've got a handy dandy calculator. If you have one of mine, please return it. I'm running a little low, and I hope this helps, and it shouldn't be too hard, especially if you use your calculator. Alright, enjoy the video. See, this number right here is where the y-intercept is. What that means is whatever number is right here at C is going to be where your parabola crosses the y-axis. Okay? Then to find the equation of the axis of symmetry, you're going to take this b over 2 times that a. The equation for the axis of symmetry will also be the x-coordinate of the vertex. So negative b over 2a is kind of important here. So, continuing on, now we want to graph a parabola. The parabola x squared minus 4x plus 2. So, there's a 1 in front of that x squared. And we know, and I'm going to just do it over here, that ax squared plus bx plus c is our equation for a quadratic function, and that the a, the b, and the c are numbers. So our equation is 1x squared minus 4x plus 2. So we know that a equals 1, b equals negative 4, and c equals 2. In order to find the x-coordinate of the vertex, or the axis of symmetry, you say x equals negative b over 2a, like we just saw in the last slide. So we need negative 4 over 2 times 1. Negative 4 is positive 4. 2 times 1 is 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So our axis of symmetry is going to fall right here. We're just going to make a little dotted line. Up and down. And that is the equation x equals 2. Our axis of symmetry. Okay. So, then you want to pick some points for your table that are on either side of x equals 2 and plug those points in to our equation. And the best way to do this, because you're going to just stick them in your calculator, is to put a parenthesis there wherever you have an x and just fill in the numbers. 0 squared minus 4 times 0 plus 2. Oh, hey, that's 0 minus 0 plus 2. So we end up getting 2, and our y, or our ordered pair, is the point 0, 2. So you'd plot the point. 0 is x, y is 2. It's right there. Then we do the same thing right down the line. 1 squared minus 4 times 1 plus 2. And this you can stick right in your handy dandy calculator. Oops, let me turn that on. One squared minus 4 times 1 plus 2 gives us negative 1. So this point is 1, negative 1. About right there. Then we do the same thing right on down the line. And then we connect in a nice, smooth curve. Put that a little straighter. Which you are lucky enough to be doing this on the computer, so you don't have to worry that your curve looks horrible, like mine have always looked. Okay? Now, moving on. Okay, if this A is greater than 0, so it's a positive A, then your parabola is going to look like a happy face. Got a nice big smile going on because positive people smile, and you're going to end up with a minimum. It's written there, but I don't think you can see it on the video. So you'll have a minimum if A is greater than 0. So we're happy, we're smiling, we're positive dogs. If you have, well, that's a really bad one. If you have a frowny face, that means you are negative. You are less than 0. Negative people frown, positive people smile. If it's negative, your vertex is at the top and you have a maximum. It's going to be kind of important to remember if minimums or maximums go with positives or negatives. So, positive opens upward and has a minimum. Maximums happen when we're opening down because we're negative. Vector form of the equation is A times x minus h squared plus k. K will move you up if it's positive and down if it's negative. H, let me move us down here so we can see this a little better, will go left if it's positive and right if it's negative. So, to do our examples, you can read more about it over here, but this is pretty much a summary. So to do our examples, we have x squared minus 5. The minus 5 is outside the parentheses, so it's on the end, and we're going to go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there. Over here, we're looking at x minus 4 squared. Minus goes to the right, so we move ourselves over 4 spaces. In your Math Excel homework, I don't believe that there are any that go left or right. There are a couple maybe that go down. All right, so that's all of 4.1. Moving on to 4.2, which is a much nicer thing because I'm going to pull out that calculator. So once again, we have ax squared plus bx plus c, and a isn't 0. The graph is going to be a parabola. C is still the y-intercept, and negative b over 2a is still the axis of symmetry and the x-coordinate of the vertex. We're given a problem, and it says, what are the vertex, the axis of symmetry, the maximum or minimum value, and the range of the following? And it gives us this nice little equation here, negative x squared plus 10x minus 22. So we're going to take our calculator. I've adjusted everything so that we have the whole calculator in view. Ta-da! And I've written our equation a little bigger so that we can see it, because that's really small. Okay, so this is what you need to do. You need to go to the y equals button right there. If there is some writing in there, clear it all out. Then we're going to type our happy little equation. Negative, use this button for x right next to the alpha, squared plus 10x minus 22, and then hit enter. Then double check to make sure that you have plugged in exactly the right equation. Negative x squared plus 10x minus 22. Then, over here on the side is a graph button. You want to click it, and your graph should appear. Ta-da! That's great, you say. However, how do I know what all those points are? This question over here asks for the vertex and the axis of symmetry and the max and the min and the range. I don't know how to do that. Well, the first thing you can do is you can say, does that have a maximum or a minimum? We know, because this is negative, that this is going to open downward, so it looks pretty good for us. And we know that that's the highest point on that it's going to go, so that is a maximum. And we'll find out the value in just a minute. We're just going to write down max so that we are on board. Now, previously, we made a table, and that was yucky. We are going to eliminate this step. How? Well, we're going to take our handy dandy calculator, and we're going to hit the second button, and then we are going to hit the graph button again, because in purple right above graph it says table. And look at that, we've got a table with a whole bunch of numbers. So what you're going to want to do is scroll down here until it changes direction. And by changes direction, I mean we go down from negative, or we go up from -6 to -1, and then we go up from -1 to 2, and then we go up from 2 to 3, and then we go down again to 2. So we just changed direction right there at the 3. You might also notice that these are symmetrical. We've got -6, -1, and 2, and right here in the middle is 3. That works for all the problems you're going to have. However, if the maximum was at a fraction, it wouldn't look so pretty. But because we don't have that, you don't need to worry about it. So our vertex is right here at 5, 3. Which we can write down here as 5, 3. Next, it asks us for the axis of symmetry. That's just your x-coordinate of the vertex. So we say x equals your x, 5. The value of your minimum or maximum is going to be your y. So your max value is 3. Now, range is all the possible y values. Because it's the maximum, it cannot go any higher than 3. So our y's are going to be all numbers less than or equal to 3. And that's all you have to do. In fact, when doing homework, you're going to come in here. Okay, maybe not in there. Come out of there. You're going to go up until you see some symmetry. Oh, we just went past it. And you're going to say, aha, there's the vertex. And then you're going to graph 1 or 2 more points so that you can get the curve that you're looking for. Let's get a little closer up so we can see this better. and it's the same thing. So here is our y equals, right there, y equals x squared plus 6x plus 4, which it might say f of x on your homework. That's going to be the same thing because our y's are dependent on our x's. So we're going to type in x squared plus 6x plus 4, enter, graph, excellent. We've got a graph. Now go to second table. And then we're going to look for some symmetry. Oh, hey, there it is. We have the top is the same as the bottom. We got 2 -1s, 2 -4s, and there is our vertex at -3, -5. So we're going to write that right in there. Our axis of symmetry is going to be the x value. The value of our max or min is -5. And because this is a positive a value, it's a smiley parabola, so this is the minimum of where the y's are going to go. So we say the minimum equals -5, and the range is all y's greater than or equal to -5. Okay, so I hope that helped a little bit. I strongly suggest using your calculator to print out that table so that you can plot points. Make sure you hit the parabola button when graphing. And on number 6, don't forget to add in that axis of symmetry. All right, good luck and have a great day.